John F. Kennedy, more commonly referred to as JFK, was an American politician who got elected as the 35th President of the United States on January 20th, 1961.
You, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
I, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
that you will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of your ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
JFK was very loved by the people, and to this day was the only president to win a Purple Heart for his service in the Pacific during World War II. Despite being a very loved president, JFK barely won the presidential election in 1960. He was a member of the Democratic Party and served his term from 1961 to 1963. He was the youngest president to get elected at only 46 years old.
America's youngest president, John F. Kennedy, was assassinated on November 22, 1963 in Dallas, Texas, at the age of 46 by Lee Harvey Oswald. He was shot while riding in a car with his wife, Jacqueline Kennedy, and Texas Governor John Connally during a tour of the state. 2 days later, local nightclub owner Jack Ruby shot Oswald on November 24, 1963.
During his short reign in office, there was a lot going on in the United States. In 1961 alone, we had the Peace Corps, the Bay of Pigs, the space race, the first Freedom Ride, and more. In 1963, Kennedy was tackling issues with the Cold War while also mourning his late son, who passed in August at only 2 years old.
Many conspiracy theories include the alleged involvements of the CIA, the Mafia, Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson, Cuban Prime Minister Fidel Castro, the KGB, or some combination of these individuals. Immediately after President Kennedy was shot, many people suspected that the assassination was part of something larger. Former Los Angeles District Attorney Vincent Bugliosi estimated that a total of 42 groups, 82 assassins, and 214 people had been accused at one time or another of various conspiracy scenarios. Immediately after President Kennedy's death, many people suspected that the assassination was part of something larger, and broadcasters speculated that Dallas right-wingers might be involved. Jack Ruby's murder of Lee Harvey Oswald compounded initial suspicions of a conspiracy. However, the first book credited to allege a conspiracy, which is Thomas Buchanan's Who Killed Kennedy, wasn't published until May of 1964.
Could y'all introduce yourselves real quick?
I'm Gavyn Bean.
All right.
And I'm Nino Broadnex.
All right. And Nino, you specifically are, I feel like have something about yourself I would like you to bring up.
I'm the military. I'm in the United States Air Force.
All right. I
Been
appreciate
in for about
it.
6 months.
Yes, sir. All right. So today I just wanted to bring up the topic of the Kennedy assassination. How familiar are you guys with that?
I'm familiar about it through high school.
Okay. And Gavyn?
I've heard it here and there, mostly
Okay.
in high school as well.
So
No.
how open would you be to believing that, there was something else going on behind the scenes? What do you think on that?
You know what? I think it could have happened. There could be some ulterior motive.
Okay. And Nino?
I don't know how much I'm allowed to discuss this kind of topic, but I'm willing to listen but not give any input.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate you being here then. So specifically is the involvement of the CIA and the FBI in the assassination. Do you think they were working with Oswald, or do you think, maybe Oswald didn't do it at all?
I've heard this theory before, and as some guy was explaining it, and I believe it. I believe that Kennedy was doing too much, and they needed to stop him. It's a good possibility that they were involved.
Okay. And obviously you said you can't speak on that. So how about the theory maybe it had something to do with like the Cold War? It was more Russian involvement because that was going on at the time as well.
No,
No?
I don't back that one.
Okay. How often do you think you buy into conspiracy theories, things like that? Is that something you're regularly believing in, or is this one specifically an outlier?
Mm,
I feel like I like to dabble in it a little bit. Like I love to entertain some.
Right.
A lot of them are far fetched, but this is one of those ones that's like I can kind of get behind it.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not really drawn into conspiracy theories that much. I'm more like I like cold hard facts more than anything.
Right.
And even if those cold hard facts, we don't know if those are exactly true, I still think it's better than believing in some kind of theory that no one can really prove.
Right. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. People have written countless books, articles, and even made movies about the Kennedy assassination. From the first book dating all the way back to 1964, the most recent one in 2023, the conspiracy theory has managed to stay relevant for almost 60 years. Through the news, the media, and just by word of mouth, the JFK conspiracy spread like wildfire. Long before there was fake news, there was the assassination of President John F. Kennedy and the scores of conspiracy theories it ignited.
According to a 2013 poll, no less than 62% of Americans believe there was something beyond just Lee Harvey Oswald on the 6th floor overlooking the Dealey Plaza in Dallas. One thing that sets the Kennedy conspiracy theory apart from other conspiracy theories was the mass amount of evidence.
When he was president, Trump released 2,800 secret assassination files from the final batch held by the National Archives, but he also withheld thousands of pages of the most sensitive documents for at least another 6 months after intense lobbying by the CIA, FBI, and other agencies. Thousands of people began combing through the files that were put online, including more than a dozen post editors and reporters. What they found were documents about spies and assassination plots that spanned decades and continents. Another thing that sets the JFK conspiracy apart is the fact that Kennedy's own family believes there was more to it. Kennedy's nephew, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., believes that his uncle was killed in a conspiracy. He also said that even though his father publicly supported the Warren Commission, in private, he called it a shoddy piece of craftsmanship and was fairly convinced that others were involved in his brother's death besides Oswald. People who believe in conspiracy theories aren't stupid or naive. People who believe in conspiracy theories often have a combination of distrust towards authority, skepticism, and a tendency to seek alternative explanations for events. Often, these individuals are highly curious and critical thinkers, but may also be susceptible to bias.
What's your name?
Marcos Ramos. I'm logistics major.
Supply logistics. All right. And what year are you?
I'm a freshman.
All right.
Yes, Tyler Cameron. I'm 19 years old and I'm a sophomore.
Some may have experienced trauma or significant life challenges, leading them to question the status quo and search for hidden truths. Ultimately, belief in conspiracy theories can stem from a variety of psychological, social, and environmental factors. However, it doesn't determine a person's intelligence.
All right. So, have you heard about any conspiracy theories, or do you believe in any conspiracy theories?
I've heard some are more believable than others.
All right. What are some that you would believe?
The big one that I don't believe, but I think is interesting to think about, is the moon landing one.
To be honest, like since I've been here at college, no, I haven't heard any conspiracy theories, but I feel like I've heard people talking of them. I just don't really give them any mind. I don't really give them a second thought.
Okay. So there's no conspiracy theories you thought about and maybe considered that might be a possibility?
No, not really, because I feel like a lot of them that I've heard have just been like way overthought, really outlandish things.
Many people who believe in this conspiracy theory have a tendency to question the government, with a lot of them believing the government may be lying about certain historical events. These believers also may be well versed in history and typically enjoy politics. However, despite many different people having different political opinions, they all still find comfort in politics no matter what side they root for.
I'd like to ask you about a specific conspiracy theory that I'm working on is the JFK assassination.
Okay.
So, a lot of people believe in a conspiracy theory about it. Would you believe in any kind of conspiracy theory about it? And if so, what conspiracy would you believe?
Like the one that it's an inside job?
Or
the one that, like, the shooter was in the car or something like that?
There are many different sources, obviously, many different stories as far as that conspiracy theory goes. Some say it could be the FBI, the CIA. Some believe it could even be Communist Party type situations.
Okay.
So, just trying to see what
Where
you
I
would
stand
possibly
on asking. I think it. If it was an inside job, they did a very bad job of hiding it. If this conspiracy theory is so far out there,
With something like that, like there has to be a motive behind it. There has to be something behind it. The fact that that's all that's told about the story and that the public view is he just was there and he just shot him, like, obviously that won't be true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he obviously had some sort of motivation for doing it, whether he didn't like Kennedy personally or if somebody put him up to it, something like that. But I mean, obviously there is more to it than he just was there and shot him.
From a social perspective, belief and conspiracy theories can be influenced by group dynamics and social identity. Individuals may be drawn to communities that share similar beliefs, providing a sense of belonging and validation. In-group cohesion can strengthen belief in conspiracy theories through social reinforcement and the suppression of disagreeing views.
On November 22nd, 1963, President John F. Kennedy was shot and killed in Dealey Square, Dallas. The government says after a thorough investigation, they determined the shot was taken by Lee Harvey Oswald. However, today, a large group of people believe that may not be the story, including many in government positions. Some believe it was an inside job by the FBI or CIA. Some believe it was a plan carried out by Communist Russia or Cuba. But they all agree on one thing, that JFK's assassination isn't as the government has let it on to be.